So I didn't catch the final game of SE Ultimecia, but Midas did pull out the win over Tezuka to grab second place. Seto finishes in first. Midas finishes in second. Tezuka finishes in third. I'd like to congratulate Brotherhood of Seed. It is their first tournament won in the return. We all knew you had it in you, and I'm glad you got there. Proud of you. Good work. And now we can see SE Ultimecia being used. You can see it on the right hand side. This is the show off game between Seto and Turds. Turds is using his three SEs, Cosmos, Vincent, and Carver, while Seto is using his three in Ward, Ultimecia, and I guess he has two. That makes sense, yeah, because Seto has won 5 tournaments. Turds has won 3, but they were all SEs. Seto has won 5, but 2 of them were Triad Wars. He was the first player to ever win 2 Triad Wars. And I think only 3 people have done so. That sounds right. Could be wrong. Sounds right. And he also won Rhinoa, but of course no longer has the Rhinoa card because that got stolen away. I believe that's Night Wishes at the moment. Though, just going back historically, really impressive feat by Seto. He wins the first Rhinoa, which is also the first 3-way finals ever, which feels relevant now, having just had another 3-way finals, and then goes on to defend it 3 times until the rules are changed against, who did he play? I think it was Kona, Great Sephiroth, and Slash of Time. I think that's the trio. Could be mistaken. Is there anything else we should say wrapping this up? I've updated my leaderboards. I have my Hall of Fame stat. I've talked a bit about what everyone involved in this finals has achieved. The main movers over this tournament were the 3 finalists. Because Vid and Akiyama were infinitesimally apart, Vid going out in round 2 and Akiyama going out in round 1 moves Vid ahead. Vid takes 12th, Akiyama drops to 13th. I think they flipped. Vid might have been slightly ahead the whole way. They're very close. At some point, Akiyama will pass Vid. He has higher win rates, but hasn't played as long. Unless, Vid has some fantastic results, and then of course he won't. But if they have even results from now on, at some point Akiyama will pass Vid, just because he'll have higher win rates. And then Seto is, one of those top 4 people. The win is nice, but it doesn't actually move the bar on him too much, right? Like, it's another fantastic result from Seto, and he has them regularly, right? How much are things going to move? They move less. But we do have Tezuka passes Kaus Debonair. I talked about this a bit for 20th. He's now only a little behind Sir Smokes. And so maybe at some point we'll think about Tezuka versus Sir Smokes. We could do a little of that now while we're sort of watching this game. This was supposed to be just a short video, but that's okay. And Midas moves from the low 30s. He passes players like Mafijosi, Virgil, Kozik, Ulti, Scythe, and Meta, and jumps up to 25th all time. He has started to pass the very good but weaker end. There's kind of a few levels of tournament winners, right? There's the people who won a tournament and then have almost no other, or have few other deep results. They might have another icon or 2, but they don't have many deep results. The results are kind of all split up. Often the tournament they won is a closed tournament, but not always, or closed including tournament. And, they're clearly very good, but they never quite strung together the results in a row. And then there's the people like Meta and Scythe who have multiple really good results, usually all at once. Maybe Broccoli's in this group as well, though hers are very spread out, her championships. Usually they're one-time winners. They're very good players, and it's easy to imagine worlds where they're some of the best non-winners, or some of the weaker end of winners. And I mean this is a compliment. I hope no one takes offense at this. And Midas is starting to pass people in that range. He has passed Meta and Scythe and Bren, and is behind Broccoli and 50, and yeah, he's currently 25th. Also, not that far behind Piggyman. And Piggyman and Chickeny are my top two picks for best player to never win a major. And Midas, at least by this ranking, has now moved into third on that scale. He has a case for first. He has the most finals without a win. So if the goal is, to go as far as you can, he has done that more than the other two. Um, his peak is also now looking really good. He's had this really good peak both in 2011-13 and now again in the 2020s. And yeah, he has moved up to 25th. And those are the main moves in the top 50. I think no one else in my top 50. Most players in my top 50 are not super active. Turds had a chance to move over Sujiro, didn't make it here, probably will in the near future. Turds will move into 15th soon. Yeah, Vid held on to 12th or got 12th, not sure which. Don't remember the exact standings before the tournament. Delhi's still top 4, as it would be almost impossible for any of the top 4 to fall out of the top 4. There is quite a substantial lead. Akiyama's still 12th, 13th. Yeah, Smokes is still 19th. Yeah. So it looks like most things didn't change. The big movers are, as you would expect, the finalists. So congrats to them. Let's take a moment to look at this game. This is the second game Seto and Turds are playing with their show-off hands. In the first one, they tied. They got a slash structure, which they also got this one. And Seto also went in 8 last time. And last time, Turds went in 2 with Cosmos and had really good sweepers for the endgame in Riku and 9893. But Seto also had nice cards there, and he had safety in 8, which he does again here, and that was enough to hold the tie. Now here, Seto again has safety in 8. So one instinct would be Riku in 6, right? It locks in a card, and you have Vincent for the top, and you have Cosmos for the left. And those are potentially very good sweepers. Vincent completely dominates the top, including having a combo of the card in 5. And note there's no combo back in 4. And A3, A2 is, of course, completely unstoppable on the left. The thing that's worrisome is 6-9-6-8 might be able to combo in 2 at an inopportune moment. So if you play Riku in 6, and they play exactly Ward in 4, you can't actually play 7 with Cosmos, which you'd want to, because the plus flips too much and you get comboed back. But I think Ward in 4. No, Ward in 4 is really tricky. You can play Vincent in 3. They have to go 7. You play Cosmos in 2, but that's just a 5-5 tie if I'm counting right. So Riku 6 is desirable, but I think Ward in 4 holds the tie. And there might be other options as well. It might be Ward in 7 also works because you don't have Cosmos in 4 again because there's the same this time. You plus through and it flips the card in 5. So Riku in 6 seems really desirable, but it's not quite working. Another idea is Vincent in 2, just saying I have these up-down sweepers remaining. That seems also fairly combo susceptible. You flip 5 and you don't really want to flip 5. Another option that comes to mind. No, that's not a very good idea. Okay, I'm expecting to see something in 6. Yeah, okay, so Cosmos. Riku is left as the sweeper on the left, but Riku is not as convincing a sweeper. Right? Riku cannot, for instance, take Satan in 4. Okay, so the obvious thing to check is if something combos in 3, you play Vincent in 2 and you combo back. Sure. Can you, though? Bear with me for a sec. If, say, Ultimecia 3, you play Vincent in 2, you flip everything because you combo through 5, right? And 5 flips 6, which flips 3. It also flips 9, which means it flips 8. Okay, Seto doesn't go for it. I'll assume Seto knew what he was doing. It's weird for me not to hold on to A3, A2 there, if you're turds. That's weird to me. So, okay, now Vincent and 3 should tie. Yeah. I feel like either I missed something or they missed something here. Probably me, right? They're the ones putting more effort into this. And they are both excellent calculators, which I am often, but not always. So I'm curious about this. Let's solver this. What were the cards played? Seto played 971A, 41AA, A728, and has remaining 6968 and 6887. Man, I was really just making this video to tease Brotherhood of Seed for not having won anything yet until this, but then I got invested in the game being played. So I'm sure the line I was looking at was a tie. I'm already blanking on what it was, but I'm sure it was a tie. That like Riku has a triple capture at the end, and that's going to be sufficient. All right, so something like, oh no, I have the turn order wrong. Seto has second turn, not first turn. I've got to switch the hands. Wait. Yeah, okay. Did the hands wrong. Boop, boop. Do. Play game. But fun to see the new card in action. All right, so something like Ultimecia. No, wait, what? 9893 landed there. Wait, I didn't put a Dia in either player's hand. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. So Turds' hand should have a Dia. Alright. I'll get there eventually. When you miss the first few moves of the game, it all feels so much less clear sometimes. Alright, so we get a tie here. But was there anything missed? So let's switch over to Mr. Solver. And it says this position is a tie and most moves tie, which suggests to me that I was wrong. So I thought the right move was here. And indeed it was, and indeed the two ties were Ward 4 and Ward 7. I really thought Ward 4 was so cute because you can't play this because then you lose, right? Oh, you tie there still. Oh. I thought you had to dodge that. I didn't realize there was the plus wall on the 9. Okay, so I guess not a loss. I thought you had to play this here to tie. Something like this as the tie. Miscalculation. Turds played here, and I thought there might be a problem. The line I saw was if you play here and Turds combos back, either way, you'll notice it flips everything. Because it flips through 5 to take 6, to take 9, to take 8. And because it flips everything, this can combo back. And that's what I was thinking. And actually, I feel like that might work. Solver, tell me. Yeah. Seto misses the win. It's a weird combo line because you don't. 8 flipping is unnatural here. If 8 was weak to 5, you'd see it. Because 8 is not weak to 5, but strong to 5, it's easy to miss this combo chain. Alright, well, fun game. This is, I think, the second time I've ever caught Seto missing, or no, the third time. Third time? No, second or third time. I think second time that I've caught Seto missing a calculation with 4 moves left. I think this is the second time. Because the first time he screwed something up, it was a misclick. So this might be the first time that wasn't a misclick. Because, like, you can't be intending to play this and misclick this, right? Like, this one we know isn't a misclick. It's good to know people are mortal, right? You want to know people are mortal. They don't see absolutely everything. And Turds should have played this. Which I think makes more sense because A3, A2 is such a good sweeper. But maybe you think the combo chains here are favorable. Curious game. We should check that they're all rules. Oh, I've switched you back to the board so you can't see what I was looking at. But I was just saying Riku in 6 was better than A3, A2 in 6. And yeah. I'm going to open the Discord for a sec, see if anyone's commented, and then we shall call it a video. Huge congrats to the 3 finalists. I think they all did great. I think coming into the tournament, there were a bunch of people saying it'll be interesting to see the prediction brackets. But Delto Yama Bull was something being talked about, and we didn't get it. And one of my numbers said, yeah, those are the 3 best players. They're 3 fantastic players. And there's still only like a 10% chance you get that as a finals because the brackets are really tough. So the odds of any of them making it there are, if each of them were 50% to make the finals, which is a really high percentage, then it'll only be 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5, 12.5% for all 3 to make it there. It thought they were in general slightly under for 50% to make it there. And indeed, 1 out of 3 did, suggesting, maybe it was random bad luck for them, but it's really hard to make a finals. And so, well, when we saw the bracket, Delto Yama Bull seemed plausible. It is not. It is not what happened. But I think it's really cool that the people who beat Delial and Akiyama are the 2 people that made the finals with Seto, right? Sometimes you see brackets where you're like, okay, this is the best player there. And they happen to get upset, and then the player that beats them goes out too, and the eventual winner or finalist of the tournament, like, they still did an incredible thing, and you can only beat who's put in front of you, but they didn't beat the players that seemed the most challenging, right? And that's no criticism of them. They had no choice in the matter. But it is just to say it's cool when the people who beat the most challenging opponents do make the best runs. And that was really nice to see here in Ultimecia. I think this is the end of my Ultimecia coverage. There's going to be a bunch of videos coming out that I recorded during Ultimecia, and I'll probably talk about it at points there. So there will be continued discussion of it. If you care, like, what was I happening to be thinking 3 months ago or 2, or however many months ago about this. But this is the end of kind of official coverage of it, and I had a lot of fun following it. And I really got invested with that round 2 rule set. That really worked for me as a viewer. That was really interesting. That was my favorite round.